Hey everybody, Arthur here. This is it everyone. It's time to say goodbye. I'm sad, I bet you are too, and it's okay to be sad, it's a part of life, it's only natural. All things must come to an end, and it's time for the 3DS and Wii U eShops and all the magnificent games on them to go away. I mean, isn't it sad that we're not gonna be able to play the little match puzzle on the Wii U anymore? So let me save this for the ages here. People from the future, this is what happened when you turned on the eShop on the Wii U. A little match puzzle to distract you while the thing loaded from the internet. Brilliant. Okay, time capsule recorded. Yeah man, these little systems are fantastic. I love them to bits. The 3DS is such a little beast with so many incredible features. Remember when you heard the first time that it could do 3D without glasses? I mean, what? Is that even possible? Yeah, the 3DS man, it blew our minds. For a second with the 3D, but still. And the Wii U, it's so weird. This thing is so weird. It needs two power outlets to work. The gamepad has terrible battery life. Everyone hates the Wii U from the beginning. The name is so stupid. The advertisement for it was atrocious, so everyone ignored it. Such a shame. It's such a brilliant system with much potential that few used, but it was so much fun when they did. It still outshines the Switch in some ways. The gamepad can be used as a secondary screen to show other things like maps and menus, or for you to use the touchscreen while still looking at the TV. The Switch can't do any of that, it's either or, and Virtual Console beats Switch Online any day. Remember, you don't own any game in Switch Online, so yeah, these two systems are beloved by any of us who allowed them to show their true colors. So let's celebrate them with a final look back, focusing on the thing that matters the most, the games. I passed a final brush stroke to grab all the interesting games I haven't touched on so far, or did only briefly in my long series of I don't even know how many videos now, but this time I'll concentrate on the exclusives or feature exclusive games on the Wii U and 3DS, and will specially not include games that are at the same time expensive and found elsewhere. I definitely wanted to do this sooner, but it has been a struggle. I hope you can forgive me. So I'm gonna throw a bunch of cool hidden gems your way one day before the eShops close, and some of you will hate me for that. I apologize in advance. At least some of them here are free, so no issues there. Two final things, PSA time now. You can only add $200 per day to your wallet. And second thing, Nintendo has specified the exact time when the eShops will close on the 27th. It will happen exactly 5 p.m. Pacific time or 8 p.m. Eastern US time, so have those things in mind and plan accordingly, okay? Alright, let's not waste any more time. Welcome to the channel, this is From the Void. Let's begin with all the free stuff, and I must download, I don't care who you are, Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. This is a pretty great free Mario vs Donkey Kong game. The catch is that it requires specific amiibo to work, but we all know we can get the tags for a fraction of the price, and this game makes great use of them. Each amiibo unlocks a mini character, each with their unique abilities, which creates a cool change of pace for the Mario vs Donkey Kong gameplay. This is great. It's shorter than usual, but totally worth it. At least grab for free and decide if you want to buy the amiibos or tags or whatever later. Then next is Star Fox Zero, The Battle Begins plus Training. Weird name. Yeah, you know what this is? It's an animated movie based on Star Fox Zero and a pretty well made animation. Sure, you can see it on YouTube, but I see no reason why not have it on the Wii U since it's totally free. Unless you're out of space on your Wii U, I guess. I don't think the training part of it has anything not found in the actual game, but I could be wrong. Leave a comment if you know. And that's it, moving on. Next is Daikon Set. This is really weird. It's a collection of 3 mini games. We have this shooter one where you can shoot blue, red or yellow bullets, each with a different button, and each colored enemy has to be pushed back with the same colored bullet, while black enemies can be pushed by any color. You have to keep doing it until the music stops and then the stage is over. Then game 2 is an avoid 'em up, pretty good controls. You have to grab the orbs and avoid the other things, and the final game is very odd. You are this half blue, half pink thing, and a ball is bouncing around. You have to bounce it back by touching it with the blue side and avoid it from touching the pink side because that's game over. Very weird collection of 3 mini games here, but again, no harm in getting it for free, and this is a Wii U exclusive. Then Cube Shift is a similar ordeal, a very basic but kind of fun game here. Instead of controlling the red square, you control all the walls. You can switch between each section of the wall with B and Y, while the analog stick moves the walls left and right. Quite a weird control to get used to, but kind of fun gameplay, I gotta say, and free, so why not? Next is something else, man. Look at this. This is Humanitarian Helicopter. Okay, if you take nothing else from this entire video, I want you to promise me you'll take a minute to download Humanitarian Helicopter for free, okay? Can you promise that? Can we all have Humanitarian Helicopter in our Wii U's, please? It sucks so much. It's so great. Look at the helicopter's animation. It just wobbles a bit. Look at the bear's animation there. Someone forgot to Photoshop the white background entirely in the middle there, and the gameplay is just blissful. You gotta drop parachute food parcels to the earthquake survivors. Yeah, there's a whole story here. It's fantastic. You gotta read it. Just pause there for a second when you have the time and read this if you can. You also have to clear debris floating around, which halts the game for 3 seconds. You also have to get keys, which stop the games for 5 seconds, just for no reason, just stops the game. You're just waiting there for a Humanitarian Helicopter to grab the helicopter side's key, and then with that you can open the doors floating around. You see in the bottom there are 2 types of bullets, right? Those are locked. You have to clear stages to earn coins and then can spend them to unlock the bullets. There's a whole economy in Humanitarian Helicopter. This has it all, and the options for the bullets here are shot dummy bullet at animal and shot real bullet into air. I tried being clever here and grabbed the real bullet because I thought I would be able to kill the animals in Humanitarian Helicopter. I mean, it's not like it's called Animal Lover Helicopter, so I figured it would be fine. But you know what it does? Nothing. Yeah, it just makes a loud sound. No bullets are shown, and some animals around you may freak out and move faster. Others are just completely unfazed. And then after that, I just couldn't go on anymore. It takes a whole lot of coins to unlock the bullets, and apparently I picked the wrong one, so I was done. But this game, man, it's such a treasure. You gotta grab this for free. Just take it, please. I want the guy that made this to one day see a huge spike of downloads that happened in the final day of the eShop. I mean, he deserves it. Last free game on the Wii U is Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's Greatest Bits. This is a collection of demos for NES and SNES games, only the very famous ones, all tied to Amiibo. But any Amiibo you have will work here. Each will unlock a random game for you to play a 3 minutes demo of for free. It registered that Amiibo so you can't use it for different games. Then when you're done with the demo, it gives you a link to the eShop to buy the full game in Virtual Console if you want. And that's it, just a little curiosity to have on your Wii U. Now, free stuff on the 3DS. This first one is an application, not a game, and a weird one too. This is Photos with Mario. This allows you to use the augmented reality capabilities of the 3DS, which is pretty cool, but require 6 AR cards that do not come with the system. The Mario, Peach, Goomba, Luigi, Koopa, and Bowser AR cards that were only available at Target apparently. But fret not, you don't need to look up on eBay for those or anything. Just find them on Google Images and print them out. They should work. Actually, anything AR related on the 3DS works like that, I'm pretty sure. Even aiming your 3DS to the computer screen does the trick. And this is a neat little thing to take pictures and watch some funny animations of Mario and friends. Nice to have since it's completely free, so pick it up, why not? I already mentioned this next one a long time ago, so I'll be super brief. Plus, there is no time to grab too many platinum points at this point, but if you by any chance have 1000 platinum points in your My Nintendo site, you can exchange it for an exclusive Zelda Picross game with some excellent Picrosses to solve. Similarly, for 200 points you can grab Flipnote Studio, where you can create little Flipnote movies, which people seem to be able to do some pretty awesome things with, and those are the best things you can grab there. A few other free games here that may be a good idea to grab just in case are Pokemon Shuffle, Pokemon Picross, and Pokemon Rumble World. All have microtransactions that will be unavailable after E-Day, but all of them can be played and finished without spending anything. It just takes a long ass time for each one. So grab them if you think there is any chance you want to play them. Rumble World though has a physical version that gets rid of the microtransactions if I understand correctly, so that may be a better option. Nintendo Badge Arcade is already undergoing partial shutdowns. I think only the badge management part of it will stay up, and maybe a few crank minigames, since you can still get some free tries tied to the training. But if you haven't ever messed with Badge Arcade, there may be no reason to do it now, but just in case, it's free, so why not? Street Pass Me Plaza will soon not allow you to buy the minigames anymore. I spoke all about them in the DLCs video, but I think the Street Pass functionality will stay up indefinitely, and there are 2 or 3 minigames you can play without ever spending anything. So if you think you'll ever use the Street Pass functionality in the future, grab Street Pass Me Plaza now. Swap Doodle is also free, though it's a very limited drawing application if you don't buy the ridiculously expensive DLCs. A few applications you can grab just in case you need them in the future, who knows, are Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate Data Transfer, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate Save Data Transfer, the Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Transporter to be able to move your Pokemon between games. There's also an app to use the 3DS as a controller to play Super Smash on the Wii U called Smash Controller, and I think that's it. Add a comment down below if you know of any more apps I missed. That's it for the free stuff, but far from over with the weird stuff. Case in point, Chibi-Robo Photo Finder. Yeah, this is such a weird and obscure entry in a weird and obscure Nintendo franchise. Chibi-Robo this time has to help the museum curator guy in filling his weird museum with everyday life stuff like toilet paper and power outlets and such by taking pictures of them in your house. Yeah, there's more than that with mini games and actual gameplay and all that, so maybe grab it for $9.99 and add some more weirdness to your 3DS. Next is Hidden Gem UnEpic. This is a pretty well received Metroidvania, heavy on RPG stuff, and the Wii U version is the best version out there hands down because it puts the gamepad to work a lot, as all the menus that are constantly being used in this game due to all the RPG features are all made much more convenient in the gamepad. So this is a great grab for someone looking for a different take on the Metroidvania genre, because this game is rather unique and pretty excellent. UnEpic goes for $9.99. Following up with a pretty great one that I want to thank viewer Ultimate Alex for insisting on me checking it out, and he's totally right, this is a unique and excellent game, Demon King Box. Hard to place this one in a category. I guess it's like a strategy game meets a tower defense game. You drag your units to the lanes and they start running right and combating enemy units who they run across. There are several units with different abilities, including special ones to concern yourself with, and you can also change your hero unit who affects everyone else, and then outside of combat you can upgrade everything. This is a pretty great game, pretty high production value here actually, and I never played something quite like it, and for the very low price of $1.99 on sale, this is a must grab in my opinion. Next is Typoman. Okay, this is a fantastic game. I really don't know how this isn't much more famous. It's beautiful, brilliant, and sharp. The way it uses the words in the environment to tell the story and teach you new controls is genius. The mood here is on point too, dark and interesting. I mean, this is a must-play puzzle platformer in the vein of Limbo, but with its own personality, it owes nothing to anyone. Typoman is available elsewhere, including the Switch, but the Wii U is the best option for sure because, of course, of the gamepad, where the game allows you to scramble the words, which feels much cooler to do touching and dragging. Must play here for $9.99. Next, we have the 3D classic games. These are pretty important. There are two kinds here, the ones published by Nintendo and the ones from SEGA. Let's start with the Nintendo ones. Excitebike 3D is a fantastic remaster of the original with great use of the 3D functionality. It even tilts the camera as you slide the 3D effect. It's awesome. Then Urban Champion is also impressive. The game has never received much love, but here they remade the whole thing with chunky 3D pixel models, making it much cooler. Then Kirby's Adventure was disappointing, especially considering that it's the most expensive. The 3D adds nothing major, it's good looking, but sometimes not even all that perceptible, doesn't change the perspective or show any reworked graphics, but the game is great. Then Kid Icarus does a better job. It changes the backgrounds completely in most stages to some pretty awesome, deeply detailed scenarios that create a stunning effect. This one is great. Then next are the two games not from Nintendo but still in the series, Exvius and Twin B. Both are great shoot 'em ups. Exvius does some cool reworking of the surfaces beneath you, while Twin B is less impressive, but both are fine. Next, the SEGA 3D Classics. There are no less than 20 of them. The SEGA 3D Classics collection offers 10 of them bundled together for way cheaper, and then you can grab the ones not included in the pack separately, which is what I did. The 10 games in the collection are the original Sonic, Puyo Puyo 2, Power Drift, Galaxy Force 2, Thunderblade, Altered Beast, Maze Walker, and 3 Fantasy Zones. 2, The Tears of Opa Opa, and the original, which is kind of a secret unlock. My favorite of all of these for sure is Thunderblade. It's a helicopter shooter with 2 camera positions, was really improved with the 3D effects, it looks amazing. Power Drift also received a great treatment, makes a good use of the 3D with the environment coming at the player during the racetracks, pretty cool. Another very impressive one is Galaxy Force 2, this is a shooter in third person with tight corridors, and the 3D here is amazing. It even makes use of the Circle Pad Pro and the C-Stick if you have it. Maze Walker is kinda cool, the 3D effect adds some novelty to it, since it has a top-down view that benefits a lot from it. Then out of the 3 Fantasy Zones, the Tears of Opa Opa makes the best use of the 3D. Then the remaining games are still great, but the 3D in them is less impressive. But overall, this collection is great, so definitely pick it up if you're a retro fan. Meanwhile, there are other 10 games not available in the 3D collection that you will have to buy individually. Space Harrier is a no-brainer for the 3D effect. Sonic 2 is much like the original Sonic, it doesn't make a great use of the 3D. Then Streets of Rage 1 and 2, which in my opinion are rather cool to play in 3D. Same thing with Gunstar Heroes, and those are all fantastic games, so this is a nice way to play them all. Echo the Dolphin is one that is not made much better in 3D, plus the game is infuriating, so this was a pass for me. Outrun and Super Hang-On are nice racers to play in 3D, the effect is great in both. Then Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja is a great looking game, and the 3D makes it even better. And finally, Afterburner also makes great use of the 3D and has both touch controls as well as Circle Pad Pro controls, which is pretty cool. Yeah, most 3D classics from SEGA are worthwhile. Try grabbing at least the ones you like the best. These are impressive in 3D. Next is a total blast, one of the best looking Wii U games ever, Skyforce Anniversary. What a great game this is. One of the best shoot 'em ups ever made. It goes well beyond the regular shoot 'em up formula by making a bigger deal than usual of your positioning. You are always trying to find the best place to be, as there are enemies more important to kill than others, humans to rescue that require you to stay on top of them for some time, optional crates and elusive enemies to destroy, and on top of all that, the gameplay loop of upgrading your stuff is fantastic. Slow but steady improvements always keeping you looking forward. Brilliant game. A must have in my opinion, even if you choose to grab it on other systems, but great on the Wii U and definitely worth including here since the Wii U doesn't have too many shoot 'em ups to offer. Moving on to Crimson Shroud. This is a glaring omission from my videos. I've been meaning to add it, but lacked the time to properly play it, and it turned out I never found the time in the end, but I trust the reviews and comments from people and the fact that this is a level 5 game as trustworthy indications that this is a great RPG. With incredible tabletop elements and inspiration, really seems like a fantastic game, very worth the $7.99, so I got this one for sure and I'm looking forward to playing it. Next is a fantastic title, Little Inferno. Oh dear lord, this is such a great game. It was a struggle to put the controller down when playing this. Beautiful gameplay. After seeing the necessary warning to not play with fire in real life, your task here is to burn all the things in the cozy fireplace. As you burn the things, you gain coins with which you can buy more things to burn, therein closing the gameplay loop. Your objective is to keep things burning, but they all come in packages that take a while to open. So there's a whole thing around that, and you also need to explore some combo burnings, and they give you only hints through the name of the combos, like movie night. What could that be? Well, of course, TV and popcorn. So burn the corn and burn the TV and get the combo. In the meanwhile, you receive a bunch of letters from people and they're pretty creepy, suffice it to say. Then you burn the letters. Just a magnificent, blissful gameplay. And this is better on the Wii U because this is the only version that allows for the use of the stylus on the gamepad and also the Wii remote on the TV, which is also great. So yeah, this is a must-play game even if you decide to play elsewhere, while on the Wii U it goes for $9.99. Next is Chase Cold Case Investigations Distant Memories. This is a visual novel with interrogations as part of your investigations to solve the case. There's also a cool branching paths narrative where you see the different points of view of different characters. The game is absolutely solid. People have grown more and more fond of this as time goes on, so it's a great one for fans of crime-focused visual novels. And it's cheap too for $5.99. Worth the price in my opinion. Next is SpeedX 3D Hyper Edition. This is an endless racer with no other vehicles to race against, where the objective is to get as far as you can. Usually I don't like those, but the way this one works is rather addictive and lots of fun. The tracks evolve and change shape as you go, and there will be danger areas where the rules change. To counter that, you need to always pass through the colored tiles to pick up shields and bombs that allow you to destroy objects and a few other abilities. This is a remaster that adds hyper mode, which is super cool and makes the game much more enjoyable. By simply pressing X, you will go insanely fast and gain a better multiplier for your score. This is a great time waster if you're into racing games. Totally worth the cheap price of $2.99. Next is Weird and Unique Gravity Badgers. This is a pretty great action puzzle game. I put action there because it requires precise inputs on top of figuring out the puzzle solutions, taking into consideration the effects from the planets and many other things. Cool game for sure. It's also on Steam, I think, but the Wii U touch functionality is much more interesting in my opinion. Plus it's not too expensive at $5. Pokemon Dream Radar is something I didn't even know about until recently. It's an augmented reality game where you can catch a few select Pokemon and send them to your Pokemon Black 2 or White 2, which is neat. It's not too expensive for $2.99, so it may be a good one for a big Pokemon fan. Then we have Shift DX. This is a great 3DS exclusive puzzle platformer where you shift from black to white in a rather mind-bending way. This is a pretty excellent puzzle platformer if you like those, very much worth the $4.99 price. And there are other Shift games, but apparently DX is a 3DS exclusive. Next we have Dungeons & Dragons Chronicles of Mystara. I've mentioned this a bunch of times already. This is an excellent beat-em-up compilation from Capcom with 2 great arcade originals. The gameplay is excellent, many characters controlling widely different, fantastic beat-em-ups here, and this never left the Wii U's generation. So the Wii U is just as good as any other option for this, and it's on sale now for $2.99, the lowest price ever. So you may want to take advantage of that. Next is Picdun 2, Witch's Curse. This is a first-person dungeon crawler action RPG for a change. You use the buttons for a side slash or a top-down slash, reacting to the tells of the enemies and also blocking their attacks. Not a bad game at all. The exploration is also well made here. There's some lewd content, so be advised. Cool little game, it's going for $4.99 and is a 3DS exclusive. Next is Picross 3D Round 2. The original was a DS exclusive, also found on the Wii U Virtual Console by the way, consider that covered. And Round 2 is even better now with the 3D feature on the 3DS. It even uses Amiibo to great results. I mean, this is a Nintendo game that everyone overlooked. I myself only learned about this series last year. So yeah, this is kind of a must-have for Picross fans. And bad news if you're one, because this is expensive for $29.99. Physicals exist, but only in Japan, I think. Then we have Midnight 1 and 2. This is a fun one on the Wii U with the gamepad. You basically use the stylus to launch the cube and reach the goals. You have as many moves as you want. The challenge lies in avoiding traps and pitfalls. These are super relaxing and pleasant games in all aspects. Gameplay, music and visuals, everything. And pretty cheap too. Following up with Thorium Wars, Attack of the Skyfighter. This is a sequel to a DSiWare game that I covered. Both are pretty cool. I actually prefer the DSi one though, but this is also perfectly decent. It's a free-flying sort of shooter, like the free-range stages in Star Fox, but a slow kind of those. The missions are varied and challenging, but the game is short, lasting around 3 hours or so. But then again, it's not too expensive, going for $4.99. Next is the Excave series. These are rather obscure action RPGs. They are no doubt budget titles, but well made enough. Pretty decent dungeon crawlers in third person with a lot of equipments and items to find and missions to complete. Not much of any story anywhere to be found though, and they're a bit pricey, especially 2 and 3, but a big dungeon crawler fan may find them worth it. I talked about the 3DS Art Academy, but there is a Wii U exclusive entry in the series called Home Studio. This is also great if you have any interest in learning some drawing techniques through the stylus touch controls on the gamepad. This is excellent. The price is up there though at $29.99. Next is Inazuma 11. This is a level 5 game, and this first entry on the series is the only one that made it to the US, but Europe and Japan are luckier to have several other entries in the series, and I hear they are all great mixes of RPG with soccer. I haven't played it yet, but definitely grabbed it for $19.99 because it seems great. However, this is a part of a DS game, so I guess you can still grab it later. Next is the Dragon Fantasy series. Yeah, shameless Dragon Quest plus Final Fantasy mashup in the title there, just in case someone mixes them up when typing on Google and accidentally discovers the series or something. But great games here. They are homages to old school RPGs, with the Volumes of Westeria, the first game on the series, having a more 8-bit inclination, though you can have the graphics look more 16-bit, while the Black Tome of Ice is a fully fledged SNES looking RPG with a lot of production value in cutscenes and combat animations. Both play great, but the Black Tomb of Ice is much superior in my opinion. These are great games here for old school RPG fans, kinda overpriced, at least for the first one, for $9.99. And these are not Wii U exclusives, but such cool games that I decided to feature here anyway, in case someone wants to spruce up their Wii U RPG library. The Denpa Men I meant to play more of and fully understand, but ended up only playing the third one. These are dungeon crawler RPGs with a twist on the Pokemon formula. You can catch the Denpa Men by looking around your room in real life and nabbing the weird guys floating around. A fun use of the augmented reality feature. Gameplay wise, the third one at least is super grindy and repetitive, but I think that the gameplay loop gets addictive after a while. Again, I haven't played it enough to be sure, but some of these got good reviews, so maybe worth a grab, but the prices are not too friendly, especially the second one for $11.99. This next one is elsewhere, but it's a great opportunity to talk about it, and it's not super expensive. This is Back to Bed. This looks great. It has that surreal and abstract painting vibe, which ties brilliantly with the setting and gameplay. Bob is a sleepwalker, and you have to guide him away from the ledges and back to bed, by placing green apples, of course. Great game here. It's nice to play it on the gamepad too, but no exclusive features other than that. Just really wanted to include this one here. It's going for $9.99. Following up with The Keep, I covered this one on a sales video a long time ago. This is a first-person dungeon crawler, but not a turn-based one. It's actually an action RPG. You use the stylus to strike enemies by swiping. You can even do combos by swiping back and forth. You do everything manually, from using levers and keys and equipping gear, managing your inventory, interacting with the environment, which makes this a deep and immersive game for sure. A bit of an odd game here for sure, but it's receiving a good discount for $3.89. Next is Better Than It Looks and Wii U exclusive 3 Souls. This one surely doesn't look like it, and it doesn't start very exciting, but it's a great game with some unique creativity in its gameplay. It uses the gamepad functionality in clever ways. I already mentioned it like 3 times in sales videos, so I won't go on about it. If you value Wii U games with unique gameplay that use the gamepad to its fullest, this is one to grab for sure, and it's on sale now for mere $1.99. Moving on to very obscure Wii U hidden gem, Mr. Pumpkin Adventure. This is an excellent classic point-and-click adventure. It received great scores. I realize this type of game is rather niche nowadays, but if you're a fan, Mr. Pumpkin Adventure won't disappoint. The puzzles are really clever and creative, and I enjoy the cartoonish graphics too. It is currently on sale, going for real cheap, and this is a Wii U console exclusive. Next is Hazumi. This is simple but not bad at all. It's similar to the Breakout idea, but you do have control over the ball itself at any point. It's kind of weird. The objective is still to break every block, but you have to be in the same color to do that. So there's some strategy involved here. It's a fun little game with a lot of stages for $2.99. One of the very few Nintendo games I haven't covered is Dr. Luigi. This is kind of a Wii U exclusive with 4 modes: Operation L with crazy L-shaped pills, Virus Buster where you have to play on the gamepad and arrange the pills with the stylus, multiplayer, and the Retro Classic mode with Luigi instead of Mario. They're all solid modes, no doubt, which make this a great game, but note that Dr. Mario Miracle Cure on the 3DS has pretty much all the same modes, not a whole lot of difference other than the visuals here that are quite striking in HD, so you decide. If you prefer it on the Wii U, it goes for $14.99. Next is one that I'm including because it's on sale, other than being great, but this is everywhere else too, Inside My Radio. This is such a cool rhythm/platformer. Everything except moving must be done to the beat, and this game has some great beats, so it feels fantastic to nail the tempo, jump, wall jump, dash, and smash your way through the stages. It looks pretty cool too, so if you want some more rhythm or platforming or both on your Wii U, this is a great grab for only $199 now. Now let's take a quick final look at the Virtual Console games. Real quick here, cause there's just too much. I wanted to make a whole second video on Virtual Console games, but couldn't find the time. This is the best I can now, and for sure I will still miss a bunch of games, so feel free to leave your picks in the comments. And the major one to mention here, I think, is Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. That's just one game, by the way, which comes with the e-reader stages already in the game, and those were previously unavailable to the West. And I know this is on the Switch Online subscription now. Many of the Virtual Console games are there, but remember, please remember, you own Jack Squad on the Switch Online. You are paying monthly to own nothing, only consume it. You are a user there, not an owner. There is a major difference. Owning means no one has the right to take it away from you ever. And in Switch Online, they very much do and very much will inevitably in the future. Also super important are the NES games that originally used the Zapper, and when ported to the Wii U, make use of the Wii motion controls, which is great. This is a great way to bring these games forward, and there are 4 of these: Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, The Adventures of Bayou Billy, and Wild Gunman. All are enjoyable if you're a light gun enthusiast as well as a retro gaming fan. Okay, now some more valuable Virtual Console games to mention, either because they were never made available legit anywhere else, or because physical versions are expensive. We have the F-Zero games, X, GP Legend, and Maximum Velocity, as well as the original, all excellent or masterpieces. Nowhere better to own them than the Wii U, then Mario Golf Advanced Tour and Mario Tennis Power Tour are great to have on your Wii U because these are long sports/RPGs, nice to have on a console. Mario Kart Super Circuit is one of the worst Mario Kart, but that's not saying a lot because all of them are great, and this is also pretty good. Both Earthbound games are also definitely worth a mention, especially Earthbound Beginnings, which is a far lesser known title, and it's a great game, previously a Japan exclusive, and of course the SNES one is much more famous and a total classic. Onimusha Tactics is a pretty obscure and forgotten game on the series, cool tactical game for sure. Then Lufia, The Legend Returns is, I believe, the only time this game left the Game Boy Color officially. Excite Bike 64 is another interesting one, very forgotten game nowadays. Excite Bots, Trick Racing, the Wii game, is the best entry in the series, but this one is cheap physically, so that's all I speak about it. Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber, is one of my favorite tactical RPGs ever. Real fantastic different style of combat here, and N64 games are all expensive nowadays. Rhythm Heaven Fever is a great rhythm game, mixed with the most unusual activities. This one is kind of expensive physically, so worth a mention. Bionic Commando Elite Forces is a good one. It has never been seen outside of the Game Boy Color. Then the 2 Pikmin games, those are the Wii versions of them that have been getting expensive and are both fantastic games. Then Pokemon Snap is another great one to own here, really famous. Ditto for the original Paper Mario and Kirby 64, famous and great. And finally Pandora's Tower and Lost in Shadow, I already talked about once, but are worth mentioning again, especially Pandora's Tower, which is an expensive and fantastic action RPG. Lost in Shadow is a great Hudson Soft game, the final great Hudson Soft game, I think, before Konami swallowed them up to do little to nothing with the great IPs they own. Lost in Shadow is a great platformer with puzzle elements. And Virtual Console wise, there are more games I would love to talk about, but I think I covered most of the important ones here due to availability and price of legit copies. Feel free to mention the ones I missed in the comments to help out more people. Still a very tiny content creator. I do appreciate all the support everyone's been giving me. It has been truly awesome, and I'll keep working to my fullest to make the channel grow. Alright, I'll leave my final goodbye to the Wii U and 3DS eShops and all their games. It has been real and it's been great. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.